o'clock on a Sunday, regular crowd shuffles in. There's an old man, he's sitting next to me, making love to his tonic and gin. He says, son, can you play me a memory? I'm not really sure how it goes, but it's sad and it's sweet, and I knew it complete when I wore a younger man's clothes. La la la, la la la, la la la, la la la, la la. Sing us a song, you're the piano man. Sing us a song tonight. Well, we're all in the mood for a melody. You are on you. You got us feeling all right. It's a pretty good crowd for a Sunday. Be like this, really. And the manager, well, he gives me a smile. Cause he knows that it's me they've been coming to see, to forget about life for a while. Oh, and the piano, it sounds like a carnival, and the microphone, it smells like a beer. And they sit at the bar and put bread in my jar and say, man, what are you doing here? La la la, la la la, la la la, la la la, la la. Sing us a song, you're the piano man. Sing us a song tonight. Well, we're all in the mood for a melody, and you've got us feeling all right. Evening. Can't see a thing. There
They
we
are
go.
loving the glasses.
They love
They
the
reckon
glasses.
you
They like
look
the-
really cool.
Does that-
How can appearances be so deceptive?
I went to a Billy Joel concert with my son Matthew, who's watching tonight, and he said we got there and it looked Billy Joel. He said, "Dad, he looks just like you." I quite like that line rather than "I look just like him." Right. Now it was a great concert. Billy Joel didn't have to sing a song. It's not one song. He started everyone and then just let the 100,000 sing. This one. Now this one is a bit of Gershwin, and it's for, I believe,
This
it's
is for Penny.
Penny.
Penny Whipple.
And for Sylvia.
Sylvia.
Not as Gershwin did it, but slightly different. Oh, I got a plenty of nothing. Nothing's plenty for me. I've got no car, got no mule, and I've got no misery. The folks with the plenty, got a lock on the door. Afraid somebody's gonna rob him while he's out making more. What for? Oh, I got a lock on the door, that's the way to be. They can steal the rug from the floor, that's okay with me, cause the things that I prize and the stars and the skies are all free. Oh, he said, I got a plenty of nothing. Nothing's plenty for me. I've got my gal, I've got my song, got heaven to hold her long. No use complaining. I've got my gal, got my Lord, got my song. Oh, I got a plenty of nothing. nothing's plenty for me. I've got the sun, I've got the moon, and I've got the deep blue sea. The folks with the plenty, gotta pray all the day. Seems with plenty, you sure got to worry how to keep the devil away. Away, oh, I ain't fretting about hell till the time arrives. Never worry long as I'm well, never want to strive to be good, to be bad. What the hell, I's glad I's alive. I said, I got a plenty nothing's plenty for me. I've got my gal, got my song, got heaven the whole day long. No use complaining. I've got my gal, got my Lord, got my song.
Okay, whilst you're coughing, I have to say that lovely Sally, oh, for goodness sake. This is not COVID, this is his hay fever kicking in here.
I'm sorry about that.
Okay,
I sneeze usually, how many times? 8 times?
8 times, so...
Every time.
Right. What Sally was reminding me of was that she always thinks of, with that song, of you turning up at Nailsy and you literally had got plenty of nutting because you'd lost your wallet on the way there.
Wallet, didn't I? Yes. Yeah. And Nick.
He had lots of confidence that you would find it.
Yeah, and he was
back. With us. Yeah, he went back
to the
service station.
And he found it in the service store, went back, and it was something like 11:30. Everything was shut, apart from the manager. And Nick went up and said, was all very confident, and he said, have you...
Found a wallet?
Because he prayed. Yes. I hadn't. He had. And the guy went up and he said, describe it. So I said, well, it's got money in it and credit cards. And he said, well, describe the name. And there it was. And literally, that was some 6 hours after we'd done it. That's well remembered, I think. Okay.
Okay, can I say who this next song is for?
Yes,
whilst you're doing the introduction. So, You Raised Me Up is going to be Jonathan's next song, and I particularly want to dedicate this to lovely Eric. Eric is a very dear friend of ours and father of some very dear friends of ours. And we've all had disappointments, haven't we? Things that we've missed about not being able to go to and see and visit and so on. Holidays that we've missed, etc., maybe because of all this. And for Eric, he was meant to be meeting the Queen on Maundy Thursday. He was meant to be receiving the Maundy money as a gift for his Christian service throughout his life. And of course, that hasn't happened. So Eric, we love you, and we're very grateful that you're there working so hard and praying so hard for people. Yeah. And this one, You Raise Me Up, is for you and for everyone else like you who is on their own in the midst of all this, in isolation, perhaps struggling a bit.
When I'm down and oh my soul so weary, when trouble comes and my heart burdened be, and I am still waiting in the silence until you come and sit a while with me. There is no life without its hunger. Each restless heart beats so imperfectly. But when you come and I'm filled with wonder, sometimes I think I glimpse eternity. Raise me up so I can stand on mountains. You raise me up to walk on stormy seas, and I am strong when I'm on your shoulders. than I can be. You raise me up so I can stand on mountains. You raise me up to walk on stormy seas. That I'm strong when I am on your shoulders. You raise me up to more than I can be. Raise me up to more than I can be. I thought I'd do a little big one there. Now that's as big as it gets. Now, are you all enjoying it? Let me see your messages and let me see your hearts and all that kind of stuff.
Yes.
You know,
They're
is
all
that
having a marvellous time.
right?
They're
Jolly
enjoying
good.
it. Yes,
Now,
delighted.
this song, I hadn't decided to do this, and I haven't really done an arrangement. I just love the song, and I'm just going to see what I can do with it, because it's one of those fabulous jazz standards that I happen to adore, and it's a little bit melancholy. But it seems like the requests today have been a bit sad, and there are people out there who are a bit sad. And sometimes it's not a bad thing to cry, and I think this might make quite a few people cry because of the words. But it's one of the very first things that people play as a jazz standard, but I'm going to take it really right down to a walking pace. And this is for all those people out there who've lost. And actually, you're feeling just a little bit melancholy. Just enjoy the song. The falling leaves drift by my window. The falling leaves are red and gold. I see your lips, those summer kisses, the sunburned hand I used to hold. Since you went away, days grow long, and soon I'll hear old winter's song. But I miss you, oh, most of all, my darling, you. When autumn leaves start to fall, since you went away, oh, the days grow long, and soon I'll hear old winter song. But I miss you, most of all, my darling, you. When autumn leaves they start to fall.
Wow.
Well, did they enjoy? Sorry, I'm all tears now.
They're all emotional. Several people have died this week.
For people who've lost. Now, this one. I used to sing this one years ago. Do you remember when we used to be? Now, this one is a shout out for a number of people for me. I don't know who you've got down there, but I've got this. This was requested by Peter, Tanya, Sam, and Hannah out there in Sussex, in the wilds of Sussex. They're isolating out there, been out there for 8-9 weeks now, and we send our love to them. You had him on. Peter came on, he was the Prison Fellowship guy that so many of you enjoyed, so many of you were blessed by. And, sorry, I was all emotional after that. Oh my goodness, that song always gets me every time. And also, I give a shout out to Mark Newman. Okay. And Mark Newman, we were introduced, Sue and I, because of Mark Newman. We were in a band, we called them a group in those days, a group. And we met each other, and I saw Sue over a crowded guitar, and that was it. And I was 18 years old. I was a mere boy, and she was already well into her 30s by then. And but this is a song that we used to do in the band, actually together in harmony. But this was requested by Peter, so this is for you, Peter, in particular. And it goes right back to, I think, the 70s. I'll just have a little bit of water here. This is also for Big Al. And Al has been supportive right the way through. And I know he'll love this one. Desperado, why don't you come to your senses? You've been out riding fences for so long now. Oh, you're a hard one, but I know you've got your reasons. These things that are pleasing you will hurt you somehow. Don't you draw the queen of diamonds, boy. She'll beat you if she's able. The queen of hearts is always your best bet. Well, it seems to me some fine things have been laid upon your table, but you only want the ones that you can't get. Desperado, oh, you ain't getting no younger. Your pain and your hunger are driving you home. And freedom, oh freedom, is just some people talking. You're a prisoner walking through this world all alone. Don't your feet get cold in the wintertime? The sun won't show and the sun won't shine. It's hard to tell the nighttime from the day. You're losing all your highs and lows. Ain't it funny how the feeling goes away? Desperado, why don't you come to your senses? Come down from your fences and open the gate. It may be raining, but there's a rainbow above you. You better let somebody love you. You better let somebody love you. You better let somebody love you before it's too late. You're smiling. Why are you smiling?
I'm smiling because Mark Newman has said the wife I found you hasn't turned out too bad. Thank you, Mark, for that.
Yes, thank you, Mark, for that. That's very nice. And I hope your mother's listening too. We've got loads of people. Mark's mother, Sylvia. What's the time, Sue?
It's 23 minutes past. Do you just want to play a piece of opera as opposed to telling the story?
Oh, I've got to tell the story, but I can't tell it.
Darling.
I've got to get it on. You sure? Yeah. All right. This is when I had to sing for the royal, for Diana, Princess Diana, and she came and I had to run down and sing this song for her, and I didn't have any glasses on, and I'd been warned about this, and they said, don't run down into the audience. And two policemen came into the dressing room, and I didn't even know it was a royal gala, and then Princess Diana was there with her whole entourage, and they said, we would strongly suggest you don't go and sit down there, right, down there, wherever there's down. And I couldn't, of course, I've got my glasses on, 2,500 people, I don't know what's going on. So I'm singing, it's the Covent Garden Festival, my first time ever singing The Magic Flute by Mozart. Mozart is my oh, what's the matter?
Picture on the wall.
Oh,
Picture.
there it is. That one there. Right, there. Can you see that one there? Yeah. That's me. That is the actual picture of me doing the opera in 92, 93, I can't remember. 93. Okay. And so, first time I'm singing that role, major thing. And so they come in, the policeman say, oh, I wouldn't go down. And what happens is I ran down, sat on the lap of a gentleman, and sung to a lady. That's how I did it. It was in the audience. It was in the round, 2,500 people in the round. And they'd seen the performance, great reviews, first night, bang, 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 and then it was the royal performance. And I came in that night, and they said we wouldn't go. We would strongly suggest, Mr. Vera. And the words were, if you want a hole to be where your head used to be, then. And they were packing guns. Of course they were. They were in private protection. So they said we strongly suggest you don't do it. Well, they went out, and we were sharing a dressing room with a couple of guys, and they waited until they'd gone, and they waited, and they looked out, and they went, "Do it." What am I going to do? So anyway, I don't have any glasses on. I'm running down. I'm thinking, I've got to avoid tiaras. Avoid tiaras, okay? That's all you've got to do. And I ran down, and I sang the first verse on the stage, Der Vogelfänger bin ich ja, when in fact it was in English. And then I ran down, sat on the lap of a gentleman, and sung to the lady. Because it was Royal Gala, nobody laughed, nothing. They'd laughed hugely the first night. It was hilarious, wonderful, marvellous, not a laugh. And when I got up, I realised I recognised the guy. It was, and I looked back, I'm just about to jump on the stage, I looked back, and it was His Royal Highness, the Duke of Kent. I'd been awarded my degree by this guy. So I realised I recognised him. I sat in the Duke of Kent's lap. Anyway, we're being presented at the end. I'm rushing this story because I've got to tell it. And we're being presented, and I'm the last one in the line. And she's going through, and I'm the star of the show. This is my comic turn. And she gets to me, and she didn't like opera. She's not a great opera fan. And suddenly she looks at me, and she went like this. She went, You lunatic! I said, Thank you, Your Graciousness, Your Highness. Great. No, thank you so much. That's very kind of you. And she said, and she came close to me, come right, and she said, if you'd sat on my lap, I would have died. I said, actually, I would have done. And that was my story. The Rush story. It's in the first book, isn't it? Along with a lot of stories that I tell. And this is a rough version of the piano part. I'm sure that there could never be a more contented man than me. I earn my living as I please. I charm the birds from out the trees. The moment they attract my eye, I call the birds and down they fly. So when you hear my music play, you'll know that I'm not far away. If only I could cast a spell to capture pretty girls as well, I'd catch the maidens by the score. Each day I'd catch 100 more. And soon I would fulfill my dream, 1,000 girls in my harem. If I achieve my heart's desire, I'd hang my head up and retire. Now in German. Der Vogelfänger bin ich ja, stehst lustig, heiße Hopsasa. Ich Vogelfänger bin bekannt, bei alt und jung im ganzen Land. Weiß mit dem Locken umzugehen und mich als Pfeifen zu verstehen. Drum kann ich froh und lustig sein und alle Vögel sind ja mein. I would normally have, of course, an orchestra backing me doing that. What's the time? Time. It's time for the boys.
And can I just say, whilst you're contacting the boys,
yes, no, they're contacting me.
They're contacting
me now.
Okay.
Yeah, stream about 15 seconds, so I'll give you. Yeah.
So this opera piece was particularly for Jeremy and Jean, who've been very patient.
Jeremy and Jean have been waiting for the opera. Oh, and look, my boys are phoning. They've been waiting for the opera. Oh, and now here we go. Let's have a listen. Have you unmuted it?
Okay.
There we go.
There? Okay.
Well, hello, boys.
Hello.
So I've got, there we go, and I do it in order so I don't forget you, because I did in the practice
You always
run.
do.
I always forget one of you, don't I? It's famously on the DVD that we recorded live from London, which many of you have got. I introduced Nick on the drums, Dan on the bass, and I just went, and my son, guitar, forgot Matt completely, which he has never failed to remind me of.
My son guitar.
Hello, boys. Matthew, hello.
My son.
That's number one
Hello,
son,
Father.
Matthew.
How are you?
Number two son, Daniel, hello.
Hi, Dad.
And number three son, Nicholas.
Hi, Dad.
They all sound.
Hey, Dad.
They're doing this.
Don't do that to me.
They're doing this thing on me. I know they are, where they all sound like that. Matt and Nick and Dan sound very similar. Now, I'm just. You guys came to this show as a result of a question somebody had asked about how much have you seen your family much, and I said no, not at all. Of course not. I mean, we've seen them over a gate or in passing. Have you passed by the front gate? Because Matthew happens to live in
Guildford,
and Nick happens to live in
Guildford,
and Dan lives in
Bath.
So we're a long way away from Dan, and we're down the road from Matthew, and not far away from Nick, who also lives in town. He lives in a flat across town. So I'm just going to go in order, because you've done a special thing for us, really fantastic, and we couldn't get it on last week, so we apologise. But I know, sorry about that. Sorry, and you all worked so hard to do it. Matt, let's start with you. You're number one. You're the first number one son. You're 32 this year, I think you are coming up, aren't you? And tell us a little bit about.
No, I'm 33.
32. No, 32. I can't.
Good start.
32 this year. Don't start, all right? Don't start. This is exactly why I wasn't going to have them on, everybody.
33.
All right.
And I'm actually 14.
But you look so big, don't you, for your age? Now,
yeah, totally.
But Matt, tell us a little bit about what you've been doing here in Guildford, because people like to know the family. They like to know what's been going on. What do you do? What's your thing?
What do I do? I primarily family-wise, I am married to Julia. I've been married for nearly 9 years now, and we live in Guildford, and we have two lovely little girls. One called Poppy. And one, Poppy's 3, and Lily is 4 months.
That's Matt's
So,
speaking there. Poppy is 3, and she's just an absolute firecracker of a girl, and we miss her terribly. She'd come up here, and we'd have great times playing in the garden and going to garden centres and frightening all the people locally. And she's just brilliant, and we miss seeing her a huge amount. How's it been? Honestly, we miss Lily as well, but we haven't seen her much. But not at all, because she's now, how old is she? 14, 16 weeks?
She's 4 months. She's
4 months. She's 4 months old.
So she was born.
Yeah.
She was born 16th of Jan, and then obviously lockdown. We've been since mid-March. So to be honest, people haven't seen much of her since she was like 8 weeks old or something like that. So last 2 months she's pretty much grown up with us. So it's been tough, but she's a joy as well. She's a lovely little kid. Very different from Poppy, but that's nice. Yeah.
Yeah, that's nice. And how has Poppy got on with all this the lockdown thing? How's she going with that?
Yeah, no, she's doing really well now. The first few weeks were really tough. She's a very social toddler. She loves her friends. She loves family, so like you guys and her other grandparents, I'm sure, are listening, and her uncles and aunties, and so when she went from seeing people every day to actually not seeing anyone at all. I think when you're 3 years old, it's very difficult to understand what's going on. So the first few weeks were tough, but she's adapted so well, and she's a fantastic big sister to Lily, and she's just very grateful for everything given to her and everything we do. So she's made everything far easier. I have to admit, it could have been far worse.
Yeah, actually, I think you're right. You've been blessed.
But can I say she's also very annoying a lot of the time. So it swings and roundabouts.
Matt, and thankfully, actually, you were a perfect child. Actually,
But I was about to say, Poppy takes after her father.
yeah. She's very, very patient and loving towards her siblings.
Yeah. But what about work for you? What's happened? Tell us.
So I am a self-employed musician. So that
always was a mistake, wasn't it? I told you don't do this.
Yeah, I know. I did say, why am I following after my father?
Yeah.
But hey, serves me right, really. And so that entails basically I gig with a few different function bands and things like that, and then I also teach during the days. So teach by day, gig by night, and obviously the gigging has just completely dried up. It's been a very difficult, I'm not gonna lie, very difficult time for anyone who's in any kind of, well, through most industries, but the live music industry and entertainment industry has just been hit so hard. So massive. This year was really good. Plan, I was meant, kind of having on average a kind of, what was it? It was kind of like 8 gigs a month, starting from March all the way. And then it's just, I've had tracks cancelled from everything from weddings to Wembley Stadium for all the football matches and things like that. And it's just been it's been very damaging. It's hard work because there's just nothing you can do, everyone needs to give them their money back. And so I'm very lucky to be actually doing a bit of teaching, because that means that I'm local school, a secondary school. I'm a singing teacher there, and I also teach privately in my studio in the garden. And so I kind of, that's been without that,
I don't know what you'd have done.
Especially as my Julia's on maternity leave at the moment as well. So
it's a perfect storm, isn't it? Perfect storm.
It's come at the right time. So no, it's fine. Learning how to teach via Zoom has been a challenge, but it's been good at certain times. But it's not easy. But I'm just glad and blessed to have some sort of money coming in, really. Yeah, actually,
it's something, and actually, you're blessed beyond. Other people haven't got anything, so it's a kind of you and I are the same. We're in that same boat. Thanks, Dan. Where are you? What do you do? What's your thing? Where are you?
Yeah, so I'm based in Bath, in a lovely little village called Southstoke, a leafy little,
it's beautiful, isn't it?
Village with a little village pub and a field with cows behind. So it's like idyllic, really. And living in Bath is stunning, but it's an interesting time. Matt talks about the challenges that he's facing, and the challenges have been quite different, I suppose, for me. I've had the stability of having my job. So I'm a teacher. I teach year 1 in a school called Kingswood. A big shout out to Kingswood, massive.
Yeah.
And
big shout, totally. Yeah, man.
all my friends are listening from Kingswood. And I think if you speak to any teacher at the moment, it's a strange time because you're having to grapple with so many different things all at once and balance expectations and people's own challenges and your challenges, and trying to get to grips with how to teach your age group in a way that's appropriate and accessible and easy and engaging for them, which is it's been a challenge.
But you're married to Rose, and actually you enjoy the being together. There is that aspect that this is she's been furloughed. Is that right?
Yeah, so she's been furloughed for the last couple of weeks now, and we've reflected on this today, that it's been a chance for us to. We've had time together that we haven't had in quite the same way, because as a teacher I have lots of holiday time, and being in her job she doesn't have those holiday times. But actually, it's been really challenging, difficult, but in other ways we've been able to reflect and enjoy and feel very blessed by the time that we've had together.
That's good.
Which is that's been really special.
This is Dan here, by the way, everybody. Dan's at the end. He plays the bass and sings.
Yep.
I mean that's it's a gift. It's both a curse and a gift, actually, to us as relationships. I was reading. There was somebody who said that I've been very fortunate to be in a relationship with a loving wife. Only the other night she put a pillow right over my head and was holding it down to stop me getting COVID. I thought that's loving, That's just a lovely thing.
Thanks for interrupting my spiel with a joke.
Such a caring father.
It was getting very
brow comedy.
It was getting very serious, Dan, and I
it's actually quite dark.
Yes, it's quite dark.
Yeah. I went a bit.
Why are you talking about mum like that anyway?
Yeah. The show has taken a very dark twist suddenly. But
okay.
Anyway, Dan, back to you.
No, thanks for that, Dan. I mean, I think it's a tough one. You being so far away, I have to say that we've missed you for months. We can't see you at all. With the others, we can see them over a fence, or they pop by or whatever. With social distance.
I mean, let's be honest. The one that you really want to see is me. So
there is that, of course. So there is that, of course.
Just so people know, Dan is Dad's favourite. So, and then that's not a joke. It's true. But I'm Mum's favourite. So and Nick.
and I'm my favourite.
And
you
Nick,
love yourself. I love myself massively.
There's Nick. And moving.
Beautiful segue onto me. So,
talking on to and here's Nick. Nick is the tallest one. I think. Well, are you 6'3", Nick?
Say that again.
Are you?
Yeah, I'm the tallest, probably best looking.
Yeah. And probably the most talented. Yeah.
Most talented. I could go on, but the show's got to end at some point.
What do you do? Where do you live, Nick? Where
So I'm also based in Guildford. I'm the other side of Guildford to where you guys are, Mum and Dad are.
The rich side.
The rich side. We live on a very, very rich road.
Yes, you do.
What's amazing, actually, our road is full of gorgeous houses, beautiful, beautiful houses, massive, obviously very expensive. We're the first block of scabby flats on the right when you drive in. So if you ever need to know where,
don't you forget it.
Our flats
so it's nice, scabby, Nick. There
Absolutely.
We are.
It's
okay.
Absolutely.
Nick, what is it that you do for a living?
So I'm a filmmaker, self-employed. So also it is a struggle during this time for the old creatives. Especially it can be financially during these times. When you have for me personally, I had a lot of shoots lined up.
Yeah.
Some in Scotland, some local, some all over the place. So it was really looking forward to it. And then of course lockdown happens and things change. But I'm very blessed to be part of Emmaus Road, who.
What's Emmaus Road? Tell us what
Emmaus Road is the church that Matt and I attend. Fantastic church, and we basically put these Sunday services together every week, and
online kind of
online, yeah. So we there's the online church online every Sunday morning at 10, and we put together the worship, the talk, the kids videos. So it's and it's supplying me work, but also stuff to do as well. Being a single man in a flat can be very. Although I do live with people, of course, but it can be it's difficult. So
you found that quite hard, haven't you? Being away from people now.
It is difficult, and it is being. You mentioned that you kind of joke around saying, being in a relationship is nice, and being single at this time is difficult. But you find ways of getting around it, and it is what it is. But I've been managing to kind of tell you what I have been doing is running a lot more. I weigh almost 100 kilograms, yet I'm still enjoying running.
You're tall, and you're tall for a runner, aren't you?
Yeah, and my knees are like old Twixes, so they crumble quite easily. Yeah, I'm still able to.
Old
cheese-string knees over here.
Cheese strings. It's like a baby giraffe running, which is great. But recently, I helped out a company called Pan Vista Productions on an edit for Procter & Gamble with their association with the Red Cross and Red Crescent.
Yes.
Which is, their kind of involvement of supplying products for them to kind of pass around.
That's fascinating. So you were putting all together, the whole company saying thank you or whatever. Oh, have you got them?
Oh, someone else trying to get hold of you.
Somebody's trying to get a hold of them. Reconnecting. Right, we've lost you.
Just tell people
Well, I'll tell you what. Listen, I think what we'll do is that, see, they've lost you, so we're going to have to end the call anyway. And what we're going to do, the three of them form a band called The Wildermen. They were going to get lots of, it's on screen now. And it's a good chance to say anybody out there in the future who wants to have a fantastic band at your wedding or party or anything else, you contact them. If you missed this one, contact us and we can do it. They've given us something. We're going to watch something now that they did for us and they put a lot of effort into, so we hope you enjoy it. Here it goes. Thank you, boys. That was brilliant. We had to cut them off. I'm sorry, cut them off in the end of the bit that they obviously the call died. But wasn't it great to have them on? And dead proud of these kids. And they've played with me for years and years and years. Now they're doing their own thing. Every now and again they come together and we come together and we play as a band. But you can see them on Live in London, Jonathan Vera, the live DVD and CD. And they're immense musicians and great guys, as you can tell. And I thought what was lovely was that they were honest. And I think that's... Oh yeah, the Rainbow Song. We'd like to dedicate it to the carers. To carers, there's 6.5 million carers. Sue highlighted it this week in a post. And they are unsung heroes. And we just give you, if you're caring tonight, and nobody seems to understand that, we care about you. Okay, I mean we understand. And this song is for you. Why should I feel discouraged? And why should the shadows come? Oh, why should my heart feel lonely and long for heaven and home? When Jesus is my portion, a constant friend is He. His eye is on the sparrow, and I know He watches. I know He watches. Yes, I know He watches me. I sing because I'm happy. I sing because I'm free. His eyes on that little sparrow, and I know He watches. I know He watches. Yes, I know He watches you and me.
Lovely. I just love that song. And we also want to dedicate that particularly to our dear friend P, to say we're thinking of you and praying for you, P, and that's from Rachel. And also Dan Bellamy, we want to dedicate that to you, and also to Rachel Prince, because you've had a really tough time recently.
You've been having a terrible tough time. And this one, I can't remember who asked for this. Oh yes, I know.
Hannah wanted it for her cousin in isolation.
It's a simple song. It is. I want Jesus to walk with me. I want Jesus to walk with me all along my pilgrim journey. I want Jesus right there to walk with me. In my troubles, oh Lord, walk with me. in my troubles, oh Lord, walk with me. Oh, when my heart is aching, I want Jesus right then to walk with me. And in my trials, walk with me. In my trials, oh Lord, walk with me. Oh, when the shades are falling, I want Jesus right then to walk with me. In my sorrow, walk with me. In my sorrows, Lord, walk with me. Oh, when my heart is breaking, I want Jesus right then to walk with me. Oh, and in my joys, oh Lord, walk with me. Oh, in my joys, oh Lord, walk with me. Oh, when my life is filled with laughter, I want Jesus right then to walk with me. In my troubles, walk with me. In my trials, walk with me. In my sorrows, oh Lord, walk with me. And in my joys, oh Lord, walk with me. Oh, I want Jesus to walk with me.
And that was for Hannah's cousin, a little cousin in Liverpool who's in isolation. And actually, as Rob's just said, Rob Nee just said, may Jesus be walking with all those struggling with isolation, lockdown and bereavement this day.
Yeah.
I couldn't have put it better myself.
I just lost Jade's. See this? Oh, and it might be a good idea to talk about the mugs.
Yes, I think so.
Now, just to say, Lisa Ashton, who was on last week, that's inspired so many of you, has actually phoned in, and we just got the last figure. And to date, without the mugs being sold now, you have raised £1,275. All right, woohoo, £1,275. Now, Sue, talk about these mugs. I'm going to hold them up.
We have these mugs available now. And who better to share your coffee with in the morning or your Horlicks with at night than JV. And so you can buy them on our website, which is www.jonathanvera.com. And
say that one more time.
www.jonathanvera.com.
What's the idea of this?
And the idea is that, bless them, John and Fiona Dick, who run Outreach T-shirts,
and they are up in Cumbernauld,
in
Scotland.
Big shout out to them. They have donated the mugs and will print the mugs for us. So we are putting them on the website, and they cost you £8 plus £2 for the postage. And that means that once we've paid for the postage and the packing and so on, that for each mug we sell, that gives the charity about another £6.50. But the bad news is that there are only 40 mugs.
Well, in fact, 10 of them have gone already.
And 10 of them are gone already. So get clicking,
so if
guys.
you want, get on the website. The first 30 that come on.
Yeah, absolutely.
And well, I'm afraid we have to do it that way. But the brilliant thing is that once it's done, It's done. And I've
It'll
lost
be another £200 for the charity, which is immense.
Which is phenomenal.
Absolutely
actually.
immense. So we should be up to nearly £1,500 for them in the end, which is fantastic. So many people will be fed as a result.
And that is an immense thing. I can't even work out how many families. I can't even work that out. So if it's, we're up to, what did you say it was? 1275 up to another. If we do another £200, we're probably talking about £1,500, and people can still donate. We're gonna talk a little bit actually, and this is the great thing. What we haven't said is that over these 6 weeks now, 7 weeks now, you have given away literally thousands of pounds, right, of your money. You have been generous in a time when it's difficult. It's difficult for all of us, and you've given us money, and we're grateful for that. And we've given 25% of everything that you've given us, we've given away to the charity. And it's difficult to be generous at a time like this, but actually it's a wonderful thing to show kindness. It's a beautiful thing. You don't have to be Christian to show kindness. And it's a lovely thing that so many people have just been giving out of their hearts.
For those of you who are new and joining us for the first time this week, you don't know which charity we're talking about, but Lisa joined us last week and spoke very passionately about the charity that she runs based in South Africa. And basically all this money is going to feed people who are living in the squatter camp down there. And £20 given will feed a family for a whole month. So that's many, many families fed. So thank you very much.
This is an old hymn, this one. And I've recorded, and we're going to feature it on our featured album today. And it's an old hymn called I Stand Amazed. And this is for Sue?
Ray Eves. This is for Ray Eves, who's been very patient waiting for it. And also I'd like to dedicate this to Anne. Bruce, your husband, has told us that you are still slowly recovering from COVID, and we just want to send you every blessing tonight.
I stand amazed in the presence of Jesus the Nazarene. I wonder how He could love me, a sinner condemned, unclean. Singing, how marvelous, how wonderful, and my song shall ever be. How marvelous, how wonderful is my Savior's love for me. He took my sins and my sorrows, He made them His very own. He bore the burden to Calvary and suffered and died alone. How marvelous, how wonderful, and my song shall ever be. How marvelous, my Savior's love for me. Singing, how marvelous, how wonderful, and my song shall ever be. How marvelous, how wonderful potted version of the version on Hymns Project 1. Some great songs on there. It's 9 o'clock. It's 9:05. Actually, can I sing one more song?
Yeah, sing the one that you were going to.
I'm going to sing the one I'm going to. Okay. This is a challenging song right at the moment.
It doesn't help when you sneeze, does it?
No, and here's the way, in hay fever terms, what often happens is I sneeze about 8 times, and every morning it happens. And then when you get a little glitch in the throat and you sneeze, and it goes sneeze onto your vocal folds, which is not such a good idea. So I don't know if I can sing this. I'm going to have a look. I meant to say there was a little thing. Zoe, I'm coming to you soon. I just said, apparently we can't visit our relatives' homes. This is from John and Liz up in Scotland, John Bathgate, who is our kind of executive producer. And he sent this one. He said, apparently we can't visit our relatives' homes, but estate agents can now buy and sell houses. Go figure this one. So I put my house on the market, and my mum and dad are coming for a viewing at 5:30. Thank you very much. Now, this one is from the album It Is Well, and I think somebody had asked for that. When peace like a river attendeth my way, when sorrows like sea billows roll, whatever my lot, you have taught me to say, it is well with my soul. 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 And I think that was for Lily B. And I can't do all. It's really difficult to get this right because it's not a kind of. On the one hand, I want requests, but it's not a karaoke. So we try and sing songs that I want to sing. This one though is from Les Mis that people have been asking for weeks, and I sung the other one, and it was what was it? Bring and on that one, and now I'm doing this one, and it's the one I recorded out in Nashville, and it's from the album It Is Well. And it goes like this. And then we're going to speak to Zoe Franklin in just a few seconds after this. There, out in the darkness, a fugitive running, fallen from grace. Fallen from grace. God be my witness, I never shall yield till we come face to face. Till we come face to face. He knows his way in the dark. Mine is the way of the Lord. And those who follow the path of the righteous shall have their reward. And if they fall to Lucifer fell, the flame, the sword, star in the multitude, scarce to be counted, filling the darkness with order and light. You are the sentinel, silent and sure, keeping watch in the night, keeping watch in the night. know your place in the sky. You know your course and your aim, and each in your season returns and returns, and is always the same. And if they fall as Lucifer fell, they fall in flame. And so it has been, and so it is written on the doorways of paradise. And those who falter and those who fall must pay the price. Lord, let me find him, that I may see him safe behind bars. I will never rest till then. This I swear, this I swear by the stars.
Clown.
Right.
Right, ring Zoe.
It's Ring Zoe time. It's Ring Zoe time. And Zoe Franklin, I met Zoe some time ago. We went for a coffee, had a chat. And Zoe's a very interesting. I'll let her tell you her own story. And let's see, recent, here we go, Nick and Dan, Lisa Rushton. Oh, there we go, there it is, 1905. Have you unmuted it? Okay, excellent.
Hello, John.
Hello, are you all right, Zoe?
I am, thank you.
I apologise for being late, but you know what I'm like.
That's all right. I've been watching. I've been singing along.
Oh no, stop it, really?
I have.
Have you been? Are you a good singer? I don't even know. Do you sing?
I do. I studied music at University of Surrey.
You are having a laugh.
I am not.
Did you tell me this and I've forgotten it? Have I just got old?
No, I'm not sure it ever came up.
Well, that's ridiculous. How could it not come up? You a music student. So what was your instrument?
So I studied music at University of Surrey, and I majored in the research, but I am a singer, and I used to play recorders.
Did you say recorders?
Yes, recorders.
Shoot me now.
You know, the thing that used to be the thing that all the school children played badly.
Yeah.
But I actually played it up to degree level.
Oh, so did you play all that Baroque stuff, all that kind of...
I did, yes.
Yeah. Do you know, I could have... If I'd actually just paid more attention, I would have pegged you as a Baroque player. I should have known that. You know. All that stuff. Baroque is a period, for those of people who don't know, it's a period of music, Bach, all that stuff. I'm just slightly later. I'm Mozart, Rossini, that kind of thing. That's what I spent my career doing. But early opera, not for me. I want to find out about you. So you studied music at university. Where do you live? What's your home?
So I live in Belfield, up in the north half of Guildford.
Right.
And I have a lovely husband called Chris. I have two wonderful boys who are 12 and 9.
12 and 9? Oh, I'm so sorry. Right.
And I moved to Guildford because I came to study at University of Surrey, but my family actually come from down the road in Farnham.
Oh, right. Oh, you're a local girl then?
I'm a local girl, yeah.
You're a very interesting woman. You are fascinating to me because you developed clearly when you were at college an interest in politics. Is that right?
Yeah, so actually I got interested in politics after university. It's one of those things where if you look back, if someone had told me at university that I would be involved in politics, I would have probably laughed at them. And I got really kind of involved when I was at working in London in publishing. And actually, it was my husband who got me into politics. And as people laugh when I say it's all his fault, and yes, it's all his fault. And so I've been a borough councillor here in Guildford, and I've actually stood for Parliament twice.
Yes, you stood for Parliament. You stood in 2017 and 2019. Is that right?
That's right.
And actually, you did rather well. What was your last count? Do you want to be painful and tell you what was the last count what was your last numbers that you got? Because I can't remember the numbers now.
So I can't remember the numbers, but we were basically within 5% of winning the seat here in Guildford.
Unbelievable, and which is quite a true blue. And it's quite important to say, this is not, for those of you out there, this is not a party political broadcast on behalf of anybody. So I'm not waving anybody's flag. But the point was that actually it was a true blue seat for 137 years, and our friend Sue Doughty, she turned it orange some time ago, and then you came in. And you nearly turned the tables, but here we are. But you're much more involved in local issues as well, aren't you? You were to tell us your role, because I think that was slightly. I called you one thing, a prospective parliamentary candidate. In fact, tell us what you actually do.
So I am the parliamentary spokesperson for the Dems here in Guildford, and my day job is I actually train people across the country who are involved in local politics to be better councillors and campaigners. So that's my part-time day job. And of course, my other job, which is kind of more of a full-time, all the time, always on the job, which is of course being mum to my wonderful boys. And
how has that been? How has that been as a challenge during this time?
It's been interesting. And on the one hand, that's a beautiful word, interesting.
Yeah, it is.
It's been simultaneously wonderful to have more time with the boys, and I've learned so much about them, what makes them tick. But yeah, it kind of, when you're living in close proximity to each other all of the time, and with people who frankly know how to push your buttons, there are interesting moments.
And children do, don't they?
Yeah. But it's been nice though, because the boys, they're 3 years apart, and you know how kids can be. You know, sometimes they can't bear each other, and sometimes they think that each other are wonderful. Well, we've had more of the wonderful, and they've definitely become better friends, which is lovely to see.
And that's fun. How about you yourself? How have you been coping with this lockdown? Because it's quite curtailing for your job. It's quite curtailing for every aspect of politics, and well, you know, apart from those in power, I suppose.
Yeah, so it's quite a strange time. So I've been doing less of the day job because I've needed to focus more on my boys and helping with the schoolwork. But I've been kind of doing stuff behind the scenes for in my political stuff. But actually, mainly, I've been using the free time I do manage to find in my day to support a local project that's working to provide food for families who are struggling because of the COVID crisis. I couldn't get out and help it practically in person, but with the skills I've learned over the years, the kind of the fundraising stuff and the kind of the, for want of a better phrase, PR, but being able to tell people in the outside world through Facebook and stuff about the project, I've been helping the project that way.
Right, we'll come back and just dig a little bit deep down into that. I'm going to sing a song which we always sing at this time. When we're reaching out to people, I think one of the things people sing along, and Sue sings along, you can sing along, you can wave your hands in the air in a baroque kind of way, obviously.
I've muted her.
Oh, right, and okay, you've muted it, right, okay. So, and it goes, when you're down and troubled, and you need some love and care, and nothing is going right. Close your eyes and think of me, and soon I will be there to brighten up even your darkest night. Sing it with me along with Sue. You just call out my name, and you know wherever I am, I'll come running to see you again. Winter, spring, summer, Yes, I will. You've got a friend. If the sky above you grows dark and full of clouds, and that old north wind begins to blow, keep your head together now and call my name out loud, and soon I'll be knocking at your door. You just call out my name, and you know wherever I am, I'll come running to see you again. Winter, spring, summer, or fall, all you gotta do is call, and I'll be there. Yes, I will. You've got a friend. Oh, darling, you've got a friend. Sing it now. Oh, darling, you sing it. You've got a friend. Yeah, you got a friend. You've got a friend. Last time. You've got a friend. One more time. You've got a friend. In a rock fashion.
And can I say that is particularly for Sue and Rob Saunders, because they've been a particularly good pair of friends to Jackie.
Excellent. Thank you for that one. Now, tell us a bit about this, because you're a politician, but actually you're a passionate woman. This is what actually drew me to meet you and chat with you before the last election. Passion is what I admire in people's politics, and not always agree 100% with everything everybody says, but when you have passion, and you have a real passion, your Christian faith informs you, and that forms you of the life you lead. Would that be accurate to say? I don't want to kind of draw you too much on these things, but I wouldn't mind hearing that.
Yeah, so absolutely, Jonathan. I mean, the reason I first got into politics was because basically I looked around me in the area I live and saw people really struggling and felt compelled to do something about it. And it started off through being involved with my local church and doing community work through the local church. And then it kind of went on from there, and I realised that I could, for want of a better phrase, be a voice for the voiceless best by getting onto the council.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Voice for the voiceless. That really does strike, doesn't it? Did you find it difficult when you got into it? Was it as difficult as you thought it would be? Worse? What better? What was the situation?
It's a strange place, the council, and I mean that in the nicest possible way. I couldn't get the speed of movement that I wanted, but I learned how to kind of work with the people on the council, whether they were people who were other councillors or whether it was officers of the council. And actually, a lot was able to get done, and I left the council a good number of years ago now, but you can still see the stuff that I helped get started. It's been continuing to move forward, and in fact, actually, it was last year there was a report into poverty in the borough, and it was wonderful to see that being a topic that was being talked about, but just so sad that it's taken this long, and so sad that we think we're living in a really affluent place, and in many ways we are, but actually, and a lot of people don't know this, but Guildford has 4 of the most challenged neighbourhoods in England, actually in Guildford Borough.
Is that right?
And in those areas, actually, it's as much as 1 in 4 children are living in poverty.
Goodness gracious! On our doorstep,
really
on our very doorstep.
Number when you think about this is Guildford.
I mean, I think actually that just put a pause there for people out there because they're watching across the country, across the world. Actually, we've got people from America and Ecuador and all over 12, 14 countries. But in this country, people assume Surrey is one of the wealthiest boroughs counties in the whole country. Am I right?
Yeah.
And yet we have we can have poverty rates of one. Oh dear me! I mean, I didn't actually. Do you know? Can I tell you honestly? I didn't know. I knew it was bad, but I didn't realise it was as bad as the figures you're stating. What does that make you? How does that push you towards being a voice for the voiceless? I love that so much. How does that push you further and further into the stuff that you're doing now?
So, I mean, it's been a journey over the years and trying to find ways to really practically help. I'm not one for doing things sort of to people. I really want to work with people to help them.
Yes.
And when the coronavirus outbreak kind of started, and I was speaking to one of the curates at my church, and he was saying, look, we're starting this project. We feel really struck by the fact that there are families who are already struggling to put food on the table.
Yeah.
And with the coronavirus outbreak, they are going to struggle even more because, they can't put food on the table sometimes during the school holidays because, their wages are low, they're struggling to pay the bills. And, of
Yes.
course, the kids are home, and kids eat out of house home
Yes.
at the best of times, let alone the summer holidays. And suddenly, the kids aren't at school. You've potentially lost your job or had your hours dropped, or you're on a weekly wage and you're
0
not able
hours
to
contracts
work.
type of 0
And
hours
suddenly,
contract.
it's just made so much worse. And the church is working with a number of the schools and a charity locally called Foodwise came up with this idea of providing 2 cooked meals for families per week to help them with the fact that they can't put food on the table a week.
Just stop there. So 2 cooked meals in a week. That's what you're aiming to provide. It's quite simple.
Yeah.
For a family or individuals.
Yep, for families. Yep, or individuals.
Okay. And so how can we, the JV community here, how can we help you to be a voice for the voiceless? How can we help you to facilitate that? How much is it going to cost us, basically?
Yeah, so basically, to feed one person, so an individual for a week, it costs £10 for those 2 meals.
Okay.
To feed a family of 4 for a week
Yes.
with those 2 meals, it's £50.
£50. So there's £10, and so £10 and £50. But people can give. They can really see a difference if they're giving a £10 to this. They know it's going to go to feed people. Definitely, it's not going to somebody's to make somebody wealthy and drive around in a nice big car. None of that kind
Absolutely
of nonsense. And I mean, I think how long do we feel that this needs to go on for? I mean, because this is the government is talking about furloughing people till the end of October. So how long do you see this need going on?
So we're at the moment planning through to the end of August, but this is a constantly changing scenario. And so we're kind of watching as it's unfolding, and if the need continues to be there, we will continue to provide for as long as that need is there. Because, with people still being furloughed, people still needing to stay home to protect themselves and others from the coronavirus, it will continue, and we want to continue to ensure people have the food they need.
Zoe, look, I've got to wrap this up. We could talk for hours on loan, but you're a fascinating woman, a woman of passion, and I applaud this. I love the voice for the voices. I'm going to keep saying that, and we are going to try and support you, a Christian woman in politics, actually doing your thing. And I can only say, from Sue and I, we will attempt to support you as much as we can, practically, and we'll contribute to this. And whatever people give this week, you can go. There's a link that I think is on the screen as you see it, and you can give to us, and we give 25%. And we would love to bless these people, because there is real poverty here in Guildford, would you believe, and across the country. What we're trying to do is we're trying to target what we give. So we give to food banks, various people across the country. We've done that, and we thank the people for their generosity. Is there anything else you'd just like to say before you go, Zoe? Just
simply thank you so much, Jonathan, for letting me come on tonight and talk about it. It's something that I'm really passionate about, and I hope that anyone who feels able to give will, but also if you're someone who prays, please pray.
Yeah.
You know, these are people who are really struggling, a really challenging time, and we just really value your prayers.
Bless you, and I look forward to talking to you soon anyway, in our local neighbourhood, and I'll be pushing you. Thank you very much. God bless you, and good night.
Thanks, Jonathan.
Bye-bye, darling. Well, that was lovely. There's a song that somebody asked for many weeks ago.
Alison Harris.
And it appears on an album called All That Matters. I wrote this with a guy called Paul Field, who may or may not be listening now. And Paul wrote some fantastic songs that we've recorded over the years. An award-winning songwriter. And the funny thing about this song was that he'd given me the words, and we were doing it for an album, and he was coming over, and he said to me, have you done the words? Have you done this tune yet? I'm coming over in an hour and a half. And I said, yeah, fine. And I hadn't written the tune at all, and he'd given me the words, completely forgotten. And I sat down at the piano at my Bechstein in the next door, and I wrote this tune then. And he came in, and I played it to him, just about remembered what it was. And he went, oh, that's a great tune, love that. And in fact, he called one of his albums Still You Speak, exactly this. So it goes like this. Still you speak, if only we would listen. Through the noise and chaos of our days, Lord, give us time to fix our minds on you and hear what you would say. Still you speak, if only we would listen. Through the wars and conflicts of our time, Lord, if each day we'd kneel and pray to you, what wisdom we could find. Word of life, voice for every season, song of love for all our days. Still you speak, if only we would listen and obey. Still you speak, if only we would listen. Through the creeds and doctrines that divide, Lord, teach us still to seek your will and to let your voice speak through our lives. Lord of life, a voice for every season, song of love for all our days. Still you speak, if only we would listen and obey. Still you speak, if only we would listen. Through the years that come and go so fast, Lord, may your way shape all our days until we see your face at last. Oh, word of life, voice for every season, song of listen and obey. There we go. What's the time? Oh, it's only 25 to. Got loads of time. Loads of time. And that was for who? I can't remember. Alison. Excellent. Now, Sue, why don't we try something?
What?
Why don't you come and sing a song with me?
Oh dear.
All right. Okay. We're going to do one that we haven't done before. Okay.
That's right. Instill confidence in them.
All right.
Hello, everyone. It's lovely to see you.
You're all right.
Thank you so much
off.
for coming. I'm not
All
showing
right.
off. I'm
Can I
saying
just
hello.
say she's put perfume on, right? She's put perfume. Why she put perfume on? I just need to know. Yeah, you smell lovely, darling. You do. You look lovely.
Can I just point out what many of you will have noticed is that the boys have inherited my hair, fortunately
nice,
for them.
Oh, and just while I'm thinking, Roland Knight, bless you.
Roland.
Roland sent this in last week, but we were so messing around with our phones and everything fell down. It's quite good tonight, though,
It's
isn't it?
fabulous tonight. Everyone's noticing it. And can I just say, before we go any further,
all right.
big up to Rachel.
Rachel,
our tech team.
Rachel and Claire.
Yes, but Rachel, I have to say you have invested hours and hours
getting
and
this right.
hours getting this right, and thank you because it has worked
and we
beautifully.
hope that actually you've managed to get on easily.
Yeah, I think people have.
People
actually.
have now.
Yeah.
We've used a third-party person to put it out so that you can get it. We're not going out to YouTube because it's got big problems with copyright and stuff, so we're not going to do that. But
thank you to Claire also and to John Grilly, whose advice we really value, and for Mark Newman also.
Mark
for
Newman,
your advice. So
so many people have been helping actually, and it's been lovely to have it because it's quite a techie thing. We've got a great big computer there now. We've got sound desks and cameras, and and it requires a lot to work. And Roland Knight sent this. He said, "Looking forward to another evening of charts and chats, fun and frolics, harmony and hilarity, lyrics and limericks, music and merriment, opera and oddities, phonetics and phone-ins, Steinway and stay-in tunes and talks." That's quite good. That's quite good. Vocals and variety. Really must get out more. Oh, hold on a minute. That's right. We can't go out. This song I recorded on the album of Hymns Project 2, didn't I?
Yes.
And those of you who got that, and some people have been writing in saying they've received it and it's such a joy for them, and they're saying they're lovely songs. And so the Hymns Project 1, people have received that as well. And there are some great hymns on there, I Love Divine, rewrites of things that are just beautiful. And I big out to Mark Edwards, who is my co-producer on these albums for the last, I can't remember how many years. Wonderful pianist who plays on the albums. And I'm just a hack pianist. He's brilliant and he's marvellous. And if he actually is watching out there, I love you, Mark Edwards. And without you, I couldn't do any of this.
Can I tell them a funny story about this song?
Okay, then.
I was saying to Jonathan, you've got Sue coming around later to talk about the new album, and you're going through all the songs. Sue Rinaldi. And he was A&Ring the whole thing. And I said, so, you've got these songs. And we went through the list and we counted them up, and he'd only got 11 and he needed to have 12. And he said, I don't quite know what I'm going to do. Anyway, when I came back, he and Sue had written this song, and they'd taken the words from a well-known song from Youth Praise, actually. Youth Praise. And just wrote a beautiful song.
It's it's unattributed, actually. And it's reckoned that a lot of people sing it. Well, it's a lot of funerals in America, particularly in the Deep South. And this tune was acquired on a train station. Somebody heard them humming it, went back and found out the words, and it was called Just a Closer Walk with Thee. And it goes like this, the new tune. I am weak, but thou art strong. Jesus, keep me from wrong. I'll be satisfied as long as I walk, oh, let me walk with thee. none but thee, dear Lord. Just a closer walk with thee, granted Jesus this my plea. I'm daily walking close with thee, let it be, dear Lord, let it be. When my feeble life is old, time for me will be no more. Guide me gently, safely home to thy shore, to thy kingdom shore. Just a closer walk with thee, granted Jesus this my plea. I'm daily walking close with thee, let it be, dear Lord. Oh, just a closer walk with thee, granted Jesus this my plea. I'm daily walking close with thee, let it be, dear Lord, let it be. Thank you. See, that was the first time through with that one. Don't go, because you've got to sing. Might as well sing us another one.
Can I just say, on the album, Sue Rinaldi sings that with Jonathan beautifully.
Yeah, she does. She does it very,
So
very
she
well
does
indeed.
sing it very well.
And I think actually it's just. I was going to sing. Oh, of course there is that one. The Promise of His Grace there.
Okay.
We're winding up to an end. We're coming through to the end, and I'm just going to this song. We featured so many songs that people have asked for, songs that I'd like to play, songs that I've not played before. And this one is one that I think actually we like to hold on to during this time. Times are difficult, chaps, all right? Everybody out there is finding this stuff. And as the weeks increase, and as we see less surety, that is the time, there's a moment when we shouldn't panic. And I was trying to think about this today. Jeff Lucas said something weeks ago. I said, how are you feeling? And he said, it depends on the time of day you ask me. And I don't know about the rest of you, but that so resonates with me, that you're out there and it depends. You know, when everything's fine, the sun's shining and you're eating a meal together and you're looking and you're spending time with each other. And then you realise you're not spending time with your family. And we do miss our children, our family, your mother-in-law. I don't miss your mother. No, I do. No, I do.
My
I
mother,
do.
your mother-in-law.
Yeah, my mother. Yeah, my mother-in-law. There's behind every successful man is a surprise mother-in-law. That's the truth. And we miss people like mad, and we've got to hold on to each other. I think that's in this community. This community has grown into something very special, and it's not something we planned. It really wasn't. We thought we'd just sing a few songs and we'd get. But look, it's the way that you are together with each other. I almost bring you all into this big room, and you all talk to each other. Some of you don't even listen to the songs. So, you think, who's that? Who's the guy on the camera? Hello, Rob. How you doing, mate? And I love that. That's what we love. We love the fact that that's happening, and you are instigating relationships through the facility of this. It's church without being churchy, and it's not for people who don't go to church ever. You can come in and you can hear some spiritual songs, you can hear some opera, you hear a bit of this, but you have community, and that's what's wonderful. And in this, our own road, we cannot praise enough the people in this road. They've come out and been on a Thursday evening. People, they're starting to feel like family. It's what you do, family. Tom over the road had an accident, fell off his bike, and people are saying, can I help you? Anything I can do? This is what we find the little things. Today I was able to phone somebody very dear to us, a lady called Sheila. Sheila Moss is out there tonight in Penny. And you're listening. And this is for you. And I know you're going to cry. It's all right. Crying is good. Crying is good. And you've just lost your dear Bernard. And he was dear to so many of us. And it's dearest to you. And at this time, it's been so hard for you. But we reach out to you, and other people do reach out. If you're praying, pray for Sheila tonight. Pray for Sheila tonight, because she needs your prayers, okay? But she can find solace in this community with the love that you've shown people. And again, you don't have to be Christian to show love to somebody.
Yes, if you want to send positive thoughts to Sheila, that would
Please
be
do. Just
wonderful
write a note to her. Just say something, and we'll forward it on. And she's lost Bernard, and we just sing this song for you, The Promise of His Grace. And we remember Bernard. He was a special man. He taught me how to be a good man. It was a great thing. A few men in the world do that for me, and he was one of them. He was one. And we miss him, and we sing this song for him. Across the changes through the years, eternal God, your love comes down to lead us on. So as we walk with you, our every step is holy ground. You are the God of endless love, the Lord of every time and place. You are the hope beyond our humanness. This is the promise of your grace. And we will seek to know you more in every word of every prayer, and you will keep your timeless faithfulness through every breath. You will be there. You are the Lord of endless love, the Lord of every time and place. You are the hope beyond our humanness. This is the promise of your grace. Let's sing it together. Doubts and fears come closing in. We lean on you when strength may fail. And Father God, you pour your spirit down. The clouds will clear, the truth prevail. This is the God of endless love, the Lord of every time and place. You are the hope beyond our humanness. This is the promise of your grace. This is the hope for all the world. The nails that have gone in our place. This is the love that brings forgiveness. This is the promise. This is the promise. This is the promise of His grace. With all my deliberate mistakes in there as well. Well, I'm getting tired, I have to say that. I'm getting tired, and I think it's time for us to go to bed. Sue, do you want to just mention a few things, and then we can...
First of all, yes, I will. First of all, I want to say thank you to all the very kind and generous people who have sent money, given to the ministry, who have bought CDs, bought books, sent messages of encouragement, who are buying the mugs. We just love you guys, and that's not something that we just saying. It's because we actually do. We do mean it. We're very touched, and yes, and we're very grateful.
For those who sent us this,
yes, that was Karen and Heather. So thank you. That's beautiful.
That's beautiful. And I haven't thanked you for it. Oh, well, no, it's not.
For those of you who don't know, Jonathan is slightly accident prone, and you'll want to buy the books to read about all of that, and the funny stories and so on.
People have been writing in and saying how much they've enjoyed these books.
It does keep people amused.
It never tires to say that these two books, they were normally £10, they're £8 each, you get 2 for 16.
Mm-hmm.
Get them both. People are buying one, then just buying them, just then sending off for the next one. So you can get them sent to...
And if you want to buy them as a gift for someone and get them dedicated for that person and we can post it to them, that's not a problem. And the one CD that we just want to highlight is the first Hymns project. We've been selling the second one a lot recently, but the first one is a cracking album. Jonathan just wouldn't believe that he could actually write tunes that would make people want to sing, and he has. And the songs are infinitely singable, enjoyable, and they just lift the words of the songs. So that's Hymns Project 1.
And that's got I Love That Will Not Let Me Go. I will say we've got 6 of the old tunes. I Will Sing the One Destroy Old. To God Be the Glory, new tune. I Love That Will Not Let Me Go. Very famously, that's gone out internationally. I Stand Amazed, Over 1,000 Tongues to Sing. Matt and I wrote a couple of these songs. Matt, my number one son here, he came in here and wrote these with us. I Surrender All, and Can It Be? You can. Some of you have seen online me do a short version. Love Divine, I Surrender All. The Joyful We Adore, Joyful We Adore. So and I can also highlight this one, which was the
All That Matters, which has got the beautiful song All That Matters on it, but also the Still You Speak that you were enjoying earlier.
Still You Speak, if only we would listen. So if you're interested.
So if you want those, if you want the mugs, then that's www.jonathanvera.com. If you would like to contribute to the ministry, and thank you so much to those who have, then that's either through PayPal, which is paypal.me/JonathanVera, all one.
And that really just helps us.
Yes, or I haven't finished. Or if you want to send it as a bank transfer, then just contact us and we can give you the details of an account to pay it into. But thank you for listening.
Thank you for that. And I think it's a good point actually. What it does, it just says it helps us to just pay for this evening, pay for the way, and pay to live, pay for what we're doing. And that's very kind of you. And those of you that have given, we are very moved and touched. And remember that we give away, whatever you give, we give 25% to the chosen charity. And don't forget what Zoe said, that's information is up there. If you've got a spare £5, £10, £50, if you're feeling generous, please go and bless that one of those families and feed them and help them. And I think actually, I was just looking for the words of the Lord bless you and keep you, but I think I can remember
before
them.
You do, whilst you're finding that, we also like to just send our love to Melanie, and she wanted a song in memory of her mum Dot, who died recently. For Irene in Lymington as well, was someone else that we said that we would send messages to. So, and Irene Denham as well. You've been waiting patiently to be mentioned for the last few weeks. So thank you ever so much for coming, everyone. Just enjoy this last song.
The Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord make his face to shine on you. The Lord bless you and keep you and give you his peace. The Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord turn his face toward you. The Lord bless you and keep you and give you his peace and give you his peace. Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord turn his face toward you. The Lord bless you and keep you and be gracious to you. The Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord turn his face toward you. The Lord bless you and keep you and be gracious to you. Be gracious to you. The Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord turn his face toward you. The Lord bless you and keep you and give you his peace and give you his peace. God bless you and see you next week.